Hello, my name is Manisha and I am now into my third session of the Thrive programme with Fiona, and I'd just like to tell you about my experience and my progress. So I have a history of a lot of long-term issues. I'm now 37 and I've been suffering from depression since I was a child. I wasn't aware of it at the time. I think it became a lot prevalent when I was 18, but knowing what I know now, it definitely started from a young age. I've also had a lot of anxiety and had a history of eating disorders as a teenager, and since then there's been a lot of issues with body image. I suffer from IBS, and as the doctors couldn't find anything actually wrong with me, I do believe a lot of that is stress related. I've had insomnia since I was 18 years old, and also suffer a lot from stress, and have had really hard time just dealing with decision making, and just day to day things would be a massive struggle. I started Thrive because I wanted to try something different. I needed to try something different. I've been in and out of counselling. I've tried CBT, tried acupuncture, I've tried meditating, which actually just made me more angry. More recently, I've tried 6 months of long-term psychotherapy because it was recommended by a psychologist, and I paid for that treatment as well. And initially I thought it was helping because it was nice to talk to someone and air things out. However, it became problematic because it just wasn't helping me to change, and I still felt utterly miserable. Nothing was changing for me. I was going back every week, digging up the past, and just ended up saying the same thing pretty much every week at one stage. It was just not what I needed. I always had it in my mind that I would try something different, and I found Thrive by accident because I was initially looking at hypnosis, and I accidentally stumbled upon Thrive, and I bought the book, gave it a read. I had a look at the testimonials. I spent a few weeks researching it before I started, and during those 2 weeks of research I had a really bad day at work, which resulted in me storming out at the end. And I came home and I phoned the Samaritans because I actually felt I was a danger to myself and I didn't want to be alive. I was continuing having suicidal thoughts for a very long time, but that day was just really scared me a lot. I've never phoned, well, I think I've phoned the Samaritans once, probably about 10 years ago, but I've never called anyone. So off the back of that, I was like, well, where do I go from here? I need to try something different. So that weekend I started to call different Thrive consultants, and that's when I found Fiona and decided to go with her. And also during this time I was signed off work, and I was terrified because I just didn't think that I could ever go back. And just I was off work only 3 weeks in the end, and the week after I started with Fiona I went back to work, and I've now been back for 3 weeks and things are very different already just after 3 sessions of Thrive with Fiona. And I honestly can't believe that this is happening, what has happened. I booked flights to LA just over a week ago, so I fly on Friday. And again, this is a trip of a lifetime for me. I'm going to a music festival, which I didn't think that I would be able to go to see my favourite band, which is the Foo Fighters. And I think it's safe to say that Thrive is definitely working for me. I've still got a way to go, and there's still a lot to learn and a lot of reading to do, but I know that it works because, you know, a month to 5 weeks ago, I was in a completely different place. I'm now able to manage my emotions better, react to situations more effectively, and I feel like I have so much more control than I did before. And to me, that is the major thing about Thrive. It helps you to gain some power and control in your life.